Welcome back to Happy Seniors Life, where East meets West and wisdom meets wellness. I'm Dr. Thomas, and today I'd like to begin with a quiet question. When was the last time you stood up and truly felt steady? I'm not talking about lifting weights or running a mile. I'm talking about something simpler, standing up from a chair without your knees shaking, carrying groceries without worrying about your balance, or walking across the room without grabbing onto furniture. These are small things until they disappear. Today, I'm joined by someone whose name is a living legend, Japan's oldest practicing physician, Dr. Shigaki Hinohara. He lived to be over 100 years old, still walking, still treating patients, still writing, still waking up every morning with purpose. And his message is simple. Strength after 60 is possible. Mobility is not gone. And no, you don't need a gym to reclaim it. So let me ask you, have you or someone you love ever felt like you're just getting old and that's why your legs don't work like they used to? If that sounds like you, I want you to type number 1 in the comments below. If you haven't felt that way yet, type 0 and tell us what helps you stay strong. We read every comment, we learn from each other, and if this message already speaks to your heart, tap subscribe, hit the bell, and stay with us. We're about to reveal what most people overlook, the true key to rebuilding muscle after 60 without any exercise. Now, let's begin. Topics 1. Why muscle loss after 60 is more dangerous than you think. Let's talk about something most people think is just part of getting older. Losing strength, losing balance, feeling like your legs don't quite catch you the way they used to. Many seniors chalk it up to aging. They say, "Oh, well, I'm just slowing down." But here's the truth, and it's something I've seen again and again in over 30 years of caring for older patients. Muscle loss is not just about weakness. It's about losing function. It's about losing freedom. And the medical term for this is sarcopenia, a condition that begins quietly, often as early as age 60, where the body starts losing muscle mass and strength each year. By the time someone reaches their late 70s, they may have lost up to 1/3 of their muscle mass. Let that sink in. Not 1/3 of fat, 1/3 of the very thing that lets you walk. Carry your grandkids, hold your balance, and get out of bed. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 36 million older adults in the United States fall each year. Of those, more than 32,000 die as a result of fall-related injuries. That's not just a statistic, it's a national crisis. And behind many of those falls is muscle loss that went unnoticed until it was too late. You might ask, isn't that just normal? Well, here's what Dr. Hinohara used to say. Getting old is inevitable, but growing weak, that's something we can influence every day through the food we eat, the way we breathe, and how we care for ourselves. And I agree. What's dangerous is not aging. It's ignoring the signs of decline and calling it normal. That slow walk, that harder time standing up from a chair, that feeling of instability on stairs. Those are your body's quiet whispers asking for help. And if we listen early, we can rebuild. We can live strong. Now let me ask you, have you ever noticed yourself walking slower or holding onto walls more often? If that's happened, just drop a yes in the comments. You're not alone. And just naming it is the first step toward change. So now that we understand the problem, let's talk about solutions. Not pills, not machines. Just 5 real foods that have helped people like you rebuild muscle after 60 and keep living with strength, dignity, and independence. Let's start with the first one that even surprised me the first time I saw it. Topics. 2. Natto, the fermented superfood that rebuilds muscle and gut health together. Dr. Thomas Dr. Hinohara. When we talk about rebuilding muscle after 60, most Americans think of protein shakes or chicken breast. But you surprised me the first time we spoke. You said one of the most powerful foods you recommend is a sticky fermented bean, Dr. Hinohara. Yes, Thomas. It's called natto. It's not very well known in the West, but in Japan, it's a quiet staple, especially among the elderly who live long, active lives. Some of my patients now in their 90s have eaten it almost every day since their 30s. Dr. Thomas, every day, that's impressive. What makes natto so special? Dr. Hinohara, many things. But the heart of natto is its enzyme nattokinase. This compound supports circulation by helping keep blood flowing smoothly. And good blood flow is the highway that delivers nutrients to your muscles. Dr. Thomas. So it's not just about what we eat, it's whether it gets to where it's needed. Dr. Hinohara. Exactly. And natto contains a rare combination. It's a complete plant-based protein. It provides all 9 essential amino acids, which is rare for non-animal foods. Dr. Thomas. That's huge for seniors, especially those who have trouble digesting red meat or heavier proteins. It's like giving your body what it needs without making it work so hard. Dr. Hinohara. Yes, natto is rich in vitamin K2. This is crucial. It helps calcium go to the bones, where it belongs, instead of building up in arteries. Dr. Thomas. We don't talk about K2 enough in the U.S., but the research is growing. In 2021, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reported that people with higher vitamin K2 intake had a significantly lower risk of arterial calcification and fractures. Dr. Hinohara, correct. And let us not forget the gut. Natto is fermented. That means it's full of probiotics, good bacteria that help us absorb nutrients better, especially when the digestion system starts slowing down with age. Dr. Thomas, gut health and muscle health. They're more connected than people think. Without a healthy gut, even the best diet doesn't help much. Dr. Hinohara. That is the part many miss. You cannot separate digestion from strength. In Japan, we say you're only as strong as your gut is clean. Dr. Thomas, I love that. So for our listeners, if you've never tried natto before, I'll be honest, it's a little sticky. It smells a bit strong, but give it a try. Mix it well. Add a little mustard or soy sauce. It might surprise you. Dr. Hinohara, and it doesn't have to be eaten every day to help. Even 2 or 3 times a week can make a real difference, especially when eaten in the morning. It sets the tone for your gut and energy for the day. Dr. Thomas. So here's a question for our listeners. Have you ever tried natto or any fermented food regularly? Maybe yogurt, kefir, miso, or sauerkraut? Comment below with yes or no and tell us what works for your digestion. Because remember, if your gut can't absorb, your muscles can't rebuild, and that's where our journey to strength truly begins. Topics 3. Sardines, small fish, big impact. Dr. Thomas, Dr. Hinohara, let's talk about another food you often recommend, sardines. Now, I'll be honest, here in the States, sardines aren't exactly a crowd favorite, but you've said something I'll never forget. In Japan, we see small fish as big medicine. Dr. Hinohara, yeah. Thomas, sardines may be small, but they carry a powerful legacy in Japanese nutrition. I often tell my patients, don't chase the biggest fish in the ocean. Look at the ones with the purest strength. Dr. Thomas, that's beautiful. And scientifically, It makes a lot of sense. Sardines are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation, one of the biggest hidden enemies of aging muscle. Dr. Hinohara. Exactly. Chronic inflammation is like rust in the body. It quietly weakens the muscles, the joints, and even the mind. Dr. Thomas. There was a study published by the Harvard School of Public Health in 2023 that showed seniors with higher omega-3 levels had a 30% lower risk of physical decline over 5 years. That's huge. Dr. Hinohara. And sardines are one of the cleanest sources of omega-3s. Unlike larger fish like tuna or swordfish, sardines are low in mercury, so they can be eaten several times a week without concern. Dr. Thomas. They're also packed with vitamin D and calcium, both essential for keeping bones strong, especially for women after menopause and men over 70. Dr. Hinohara. Yes. And don't forget, CoQ10, a nutrient many seniors are low in, which supports mitochondrial health, the energy centers of our cells. Dr. Thomas. It's interesting, people often say they feel tired for no reason. But at the cellular level, their mitochondria are starving. Sardines help feed those energy factories. Dr. Hinohara. And then there is selenium, a trace mineral many older adults lack. It plays a quiet but vital role in antioxidant defense, helping muscles recover faster from even small tasks like walking or gardening. Dr. Thomas, I've had patients who began adding 2 to 3 small servings of sardines per week grilled or straight from the can, and within a month, they reported better energy, better balance, and even better sleep. Dr. Hinohara. It's not magic. It's consistent. A small fish, eaten regularly, becomes a strong ally. And in Japan, we often enjoy them with a bowl of rice in the morning. Light, clean, restorative. Dr. Thomas. So let me ask our listeners, when was the last time you ate a small oily fish like sardines or mackerel? Type yes if it's in your routine, or not yet if you're still unsure. Let's talk about it in the comments. We learn from each other because one small change, one small fish, might just be the start of something stronger than you expected. Topics 4. Seaweed. The forgotten food that fuels your thyroid and muscle recovery. Dr. Thomas. Sometimes the answers to our biggest health questions are hidden in the quietest places. Not in pills, not in powders, but in the ocean. Specifically, in something most Americans see as decoration on a sushi plate. I'm talking about seaweed. Now, before you turn away, hear me out. Seaweed is one of the most overlooked healing foods for people over 60. It's rich in minerals, supports your thyroid, helps your metabolism, and yes, even plays a powerful role in muscle recovery. Let me explain why. After age 60, many people begin to feel more tired, gain weight even when eating less, or feel cold more often. Does that sound familiar? For many, the root cause is thyroid slowdown. The thyroid is a small gland in your neck, but it controls a huge part of how your body uses energy. And guess what your thyroid needs to work properly? Iodine, magnesium, selenium. And seaweed delivers all three. In fact, just one small sheet of dried nori, the kind used to wrap sushi, can contain over 50% of your daily iodine needs. That's incredible. Now let's talk about muscles. Your muscles need potassium and magnesium to contract and relax smoothly. Seaweed is naturally rich in both. That means fewer cramps, less stiffness, and better mobility. Plus, seaweed contains polysaccharide special plant fibers that feed the good bacteria in your gut. And as we said earlier, a strong gut equals stronger muscles because nutrients are actually being absorbed and used
where they matter most. Here's something else many people don't know. Seaweed is packed with antioxidants, especially fucoxanthin, a compound shown in animal studies to reduce inflammation and improve muscle metabolism. One 2022 study from the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that fucoxanthin supplementation improved muscle strength and reduced fatigue markers in aging rats. Now, we're not rats, but these findings point to something important. Nature gives us tools. If we pay attention, let me share a story. One of my patients, Miss Ellie, age 72, was struggling with leg fatigue and low energy. She wasn't exercising much, and she told me, "Doc, I'm just getting old, but I noticed signs of possible thyroid imbalance." We didn't start with medicine. We started with a plan, simple food changes. 3 times a week, we added a small serving of seaweed, either a miso soup with wakame, a nori sheet snack, or a seaweed salad from her local store. Within 2 months, her energy came back, her digestion improved, and she walked into my clinic with better posture and a big smile. Sometimes, food is the best kind of medicine. Dr. Hinohara, in Japan, we've used seaweed for over 1,000 years, not just as food, but as foundation for us. It's like soil for a garden. It nourishes everything around it. Dr. Thomas. And it's so easy to include in your diet. You don't have to eat raw seaweed or make fancy sushi. Just sprinkle dried seaweed flakes onto your soup, toss some into your scrambled eggs, or enjoy roasted nori sheets as a light snack between meals. If you're worried about taste, start small. Let your body get used to it. It's salty, it's earthy, and it might just surprise you.
Now let me ask you, have you ever added seaweed to your meals before? Type yes in the comments. If it's part of your routine, if not, type no. And tell us what's one thing stopping you. Because sharing these small shifts helps all of us grow together. And here's something I tell all my patients: when your thyroid is happy, your whole body feels safer. When your digestion is supported, your strength can return. And when you treat food like fuel, not just filler, your body will respond. So the next time you see a thin green sheet sitting on your plate, don't push it aside. You might be looking at one of the oldest healing tools on the planet, one that can help you walk easier, move freer, and maybe, just maybe, live a little longer. Topics: 5 sesame seeds, how they reduce joint pain and rebuild cellular strength. Dr. Thomas. Let's take a moment to talk about something small, tiny. In fact, so small you could fit 100 of them on a teaspoon. I'm talking about sesame seeds. Yes, those tiny golden or black seeds you often find on hamburger buns, or sprinkled on Asian dishes. But here's what most people don't know. These little seeds are one of the most powerful tools for joint health, pain reduction, and even cellular repair as we age. In fact, in my clinic, sesame seeds have become a quiet recommendation I give to many of my patients who say, "Doctor, my knees ache in the morning. Doctor, I feel stiff getting out of bed. Doctor, my hands don't feel like they used to." Does that sound familiar to you? If so, let's explore why sesame seeds, not expensive supplements, may be the missing link in your routine. First, sesame seeds are rich in calcium, magnesium, zinc, and copper, all minerals that play essential roles in joint lubrication and cartilage health. Let me repeat that in plain English. They help your joints move smoother, with less friction, and help slow down the wear and tear. But there's something even more interesting. Sesame seeds contain a compound called sesamin, a natural plant-based lignin, and sesamin has been shown to reduce inflammatory markers in the body, the very chemicals that make your joints swollen, stiff, and sore. In a 2020 study published in the Journal of Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine, elderly participants who consumed 40 grams of ground sesame seeds per day, that's about 3 tablespoons for 2 months, had significantly reduced knee pain and improved walking speed. No drugs, just seeds. Dr. Hinohara. In Japan, we often say, a bowl of rice without sesame is like a body without strength. We add ground sesame to soups, porridge, and even desserts. It's part of our rhythm, not just our recipes. Dr. Thomas. And rhythm matters. Because when you add sesame seeds consistently, just a spoon here or there, they begin to build strength from the inside out. Not only do they help joints, they also help rebuild muscle tissue by supporting cellular repair. Here's how the healthy fats in sesame seeds, especially omega-6 and phytosterols, help reduce oxidative stress in aging cells. Oxidative stress is what makes your muscles age faster, feel tired, and recover slower. Sesame seeds also contain plant-based protein and natural antioxidants that support your liver, the organ that helps detoxify the body and process hormones that affect your muscles and energy. So when someone tells me, "Doctor, I'm just getting old," I sometimes smile and ask, "Have you tried sprinkling sesame on your soup today?" Let me share a quick story. One of my longtime patients, Mr. Ronald, age 76, used to take pain meds every day for his knees. He told me it felt like walking on glass. Instead of increasing his meds, we tried a simple food habit. Every morning, 1 bowl of warm porridge topped with ground black sesame, a few crushed walnuts, and a touch of honey. After just 3 weeks, he came back and said, "Doc, I still feel my knees, but they're not screaming anymore." And that, to me, is progress. Now, you might be wondering, how do I start? How much should I eat? Start with 1 tablespoon per day. Grind them fresh. If you can, ground sesame is easier to absorb than whole seeds. You can add them to oatmeal, rice, yogurt, or even blend them into a smoothie. Black sesame has slightly stronger antioxidant properties, but white or golden sesame is great too. Just keep it simple. Let your body adapt. Let the healing come from repetition, not intensity. So here's my question for you today. Have you ever tried using sesame seeds as a daily health tool, not just as garnish? Comment yes. If it's already in your kitchen,
Comment. Not yet if you're willing to try it starting tomorrow. Remember, health doesn't always come from big changes. Sometimes it comes from a tiny seed repeated with care and intention. Because at this stage of life, we're not chasing youth, we're reclaiming strength, mobility, and freedom through small, smart, and sustainable choices. And sesame seeds. They're not just food, they're tradition, they're prevention. And for many of us, they might just be the bridge between pain and peace. Topics 6. Sweet potatoes, the comfort food that heals muscles, hormones, and your mood. Dr. Thomas, let me ask you a simple question. What's the one food you turn to when you're tired, overwhelmed, or just need comfort? For many people, it's something warm, soft, maybe a little sweet. Well, what if I told you that your comfort food could also be your healing food? Today, let's talk about something humble, something sweet, and something quietly powerful. Sweet potatoes.
not the marshmallow-covered casserole kind, but the steamed, roasted, lightly seasoned sweet potato, especially the purple variety, often eaten in Okinawa, Japan. These are not just good carbs. They're deeply therapeutic carbs and one of the best foods for people over 60 who want to restore strength, regulate hormones, and even improve their emotional health. Now, let's unpack why. First, sweet potatoes are rich in complex carbohydrates. These help provide steady energy to your muscles without spiking your blood sugar. That's crucial, especially for older adults who are insulin sensitive or managing diabetes. But that's just the beginning. They're loaded with beta carotene, which your body converts to vitamin a nutrient essential for cell repair, immune function, and even vision support. They also contain anthocyanins, especially in purple sweet potatoes. These are powerful plant compounds that reduce inflammation and support cognitive health.
Yes, your brain benefits too. One study from the National Institute on Aging found that anthocyanins helped improve memory and motor coordination in aging mice. And researchers believe these compounds protect brain cells from age-related decline. And now, here's something most people never think about: sweet potatoes can help balance your hormones. How? They contain resistant starch, a unique form of fiber that feeds the good bacteria in your gut. When your gut microbiome thrives, it helps regulate hormones like leptin and ghrelin, which control hunger, satisfaction, and even your sleep patterns. You see, after age 60, the body doesn't just need energy, it needs emotional stability. Gut health and cellular protection, sweet potatoes help with all three. Let me tell you about someone dear to me, Mrs. Ada, age 79. She was a retired librarian, soft-spoken, always polite, but for over a year, she'd struggled with fatigue, poor sleep, and low mood.
She told me, "Doctor, I just don't feel like myself anymore." Instead of handing her another supplement, we had a real conversation about food, feelings, and habits. I recommended she start simple 3 times a week. Eat a small portion of steamed sweet potato with a sprinkle of cinnamon or a pinch of sea salt, preferably in the afternoon or early evening. Nothing fancy. No calorie counting. Just a moment of nourishment. 2 months later, she returned with tears in her eyes, but this time, they were tears of relief. Her energy was back. Her digestion was smoother. She said she even laughed again for the first time in weeks. Sometimes, healing doesn't begin in the pharmacy. It begins in the kitchen. Dr. Hinohara. In Okinawa, many elders live past 90. And one thing they often share in common, they eat sweet potatoes almost daily. It grounds the body. It calms the nerves. It tells the cells you are safe. Dr. Thomas. Exactly. We often tell older adults to cut carbs, eat less, and restrict more. But here's the truth. Muscles don't grow in a deficit. Muscles need fuel, hormones need balance, and healing needs comfort, not just control. Sweet potatoes provide that. They're gentle on digestion, they keep you full longer, and they give your body the raw material it needs to repair and restore. So here's my question for you. When was the last time you ate a sweet potato not because of a diet, but because it felt good? Comment sweet and strong if you're ready to bring them back into your meals, or share your favorite way to enjoy them. Roasted, mashed, chilled, or blended into a soup. Because food isn't just fuel, it's emotional, it's ancestral, it's medicine if we choose it that way. And sweet potatoes, they're more than a side dish. They're a gentle path back to strength, stability, and self-care. Let's honor that, one bite at a time. Topic 7. It's not just what you eat, it's when and how you eat that matters after 60. Dr. Thomas. We've spent the past few segments talking about what to eat, but today, I want to talk about something even more powerful. Something often ignored in modern health advice, especially here in the West. It's not just what you eat, it's when you eat and how you eat
That tells your body whether to heal or to break down. Let me explain. After the age of 60, your body's rhythm begins to shift. Hormones don't fire the same way. Digestion slows down, and the cells become more sensitive to stress, especially the kind you can't see. Have you ever noticed that eating a heavy meal late at night makes your sleep worse? Or that rushing through breakfast leaves you tired and shaky by noon? That's not random, that's biology. Our digestive system is deeply connected to our circadian rhythm, the internal clock that regulates everything from metabolism to memory. And one of the most healing things older adults can do is to eat in harmony with that rhythm. Here's what that means. Practically, 1, front load your nutrients. Eat your most nourishing meal earlier in the day, ideally between 7:30 fem and 10 or sro mem. This is when digestion is strongest and insulin sensitivity is better. That means your body absorbs nutrients more efficiently and blood sugar stays more stable. Skipping breakfast, on the other hand, sends your body into a mild stress state, especially after 60. 2, avoid heavy dinners. Late night eating forces your liver, pancreas, and stomach to work while the rest of your body is trying to rest. This creates poor sleep, weak digestion, and often more belly fat. A 2022 report from Johns Hopkins Medicine showed that seniors who consumed more than half of their daily calories after 600 mAh had a higher risk of cardiovascular issues and glucose spikes, even if their total calories were the same. It's not just what you eat. It's when your body is ready to receive it. 3, eat with presence. This might be the most important of all. If you eat in a rush in front of the TV or while scrolling your phone, your body doesn't register satiety, your digestion is shallow, and your gut, which relies on signals from your nervous system, doesn't perform at its best. Now, let me share a story that always grounds me. A gentleman named Walter, 81 years old, once told me, "Doctor, I eat healthy, but I still feel heavy, bloated and tired." I asked him to walk me through a typical meal. He said, "Toast, eggs, and news on the TV. Lunch is a quick sandwich by the sink. Dinner. Sometimes I forget and just grab cookies." What we changed had nothing to do with food. I asked him to try this sit down. Say grace or simply breathe. Chew slowly. No TV. No phone. Just food and quiet. Within 3 weeks, his bloating eased. He was sleeping better. And he said, "I feel like food is feeding me again, not just filling me." That's the shift I hope for every one of you. Because as Dr. Hinohara once told me, the moment we stop honoring meals, we stop honoring life. And that stuck with me. Because it's not about being perfect. It's about creating rhythm, creating respect, turning eating into a moment of care, not chaos. So if you're wondering where to begin here. Eat breakfast before 10 zuroa mom. Keep dinners light and early, and treat each meal like a gift, not a task. If you do that, even with just one meal per day, your body will notice. Your gut will feel calmer. Your blood sugar will level out. And your mind will feel more present. So here's my question to you. Do you usually eat while sitting, breathing, and enjoying your food? Or is it rushed, distracted, or skipped? Type mindful if you've started building better mealtime habits. Type working on it if this is an area you want to improve. Let's grow together. Because your body, especially after 60, is listening closely. And it responds not just to what you give it, but how and when. Let's eat with intention. Let's eat to live stronger. And let's reclaim meal times not as chores, but as moments of quiet power. Topics 8. The real goal isn't muscles, it's freedom through function. Dr. Thomas. When people hear me talk about rebuilding muscle after 60, I can almost feel the resistance. Doctor, I'm not trying to become a bodybuilder. Doc, I'm too old for all that. And I always smile because I understand this isn't about looking young. This isn't about six-pack abs or lifting heavy weights. It's about something far more important. It's about freedom. You see, the real goal isn't muscles. It's function. The ability to do the things that matter to you without fear, without pain, and without asking for help every time you stand up.
Let me ask you, what does freedom mean to you at this stage of life? For some of my patients, it means being able to walk to the mailbox without shortness of breath. For others, it's lifting a grandchild or gardening without joint pain. For one man I know, Mr. Harold, age 84, freedom meant being able to shower on his own again, without his daughter standing by the door in case he fell. When Harold came to me, he'd just recovered from a minor stroke. Physically, he was healing, but emotionally, he felt defeated. He said, "Doc, I can't even trust my legs anymore." I looked him in the eye and replied, "Then let's help your legs learn to trust you again." We didn't start with exercise. We started with breakfast, adding back real protein. We added hydration, sleep rhythm, and small steps. We built functions from the inside out. 6 months later, Harold walked into my office without a cane. He didn't talk about his muscles. He talked about driving again.
About cooking his own meals, about laughing more. That's freedom. And here's what you need to know. When you eat well, sleep well, and nourish your body, you don't just grow stronger, you grow more confident, more stable, and more in control of your daily life. And research backs this up. A 2023 study from the National Institute on Aging found that seniors who maintained basic leg strength, like standing from a seated position without using their hands, had a 40% lower risk of hospitalization over 5 years. That's not about muscle size. That's about muscle function. So I ask you today, can you stand up from a chair without pushing with your arms? Can you walk across your home without grabbing the wall? If not, it's not too late. And if you can, now is the time to protect that ability like gold, because independence is the most precious form of wealth we have after 60. And here's another truth. No one is coming to do it for you. But you don't have to do it alone either. You can start with one of the 5 foods we've discussed. You can start by going to bed 30 minutes earlier. You can start by sitting to eat, not standing by the sink. Tiny actions, repeated daily, that build towards something bigger than strength. They build back your freedom. Dr. Hinohara, in Japan, we don't talk about muscles. We talk about Hataraku Karata, a body that still works. That is dignity. That is healthy. That is happiness. Dr. Thomas, exactly. You don't need a gym membership to feel alive. You need rhythm. You need nourishment. You need to believe that your body, even now, is still listening, still healing, still capable of growing stronger. So here's what I invite you to do. Go to the comment section below. Tell us, what does freedom mean to you right now? Is it climbing stairs again? Is it getting up from the floor without fear? Write it. Claim it.
Because the more we name what we want, the more our bodies begin to respond. And if this message resonates with you, share it. Someone you love may be one meal, one habit, one story away from choosing strength again. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about muscle. This is about movement. This is about choice. This is about you living with purpose, not passivity. Let's rebuild not just bodies, but lives. Dr. Thomas, if you've stayed with us until now, thank you. That means you're not just curious, but you're committed to feeling better, to moving freer, to live stronger in your own way. What we've shared today isn't a miracle. It's not a secret. It's a return to rhythm, to nourishment, to the belief that healing can happen even after 60. Because the truth is, it's never too late. Not to eat better, not to build strength, not to reclaim the small freedoms that make life beautiful. So if this conversation touched your heart, leave us a comment. What's one change you'll try this week? One food, one ritual, one moment of care. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Happy Seniors Life, because we're just getting started. And I'd be honored to walk this journey with you. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, eat with care, move with love, and never forget, your best years can still be ahead.